What's up, everybody? I'm Lexus and I'm downtown Raleigh, and I'm here today with my girl Marissa. And today we're gonna run through a quick and easy women's one length clipper haircut. I like to introduce this haircut to my women clients because they're always so shocked to hear about using clippers on a one length. And they get super hooked once I do it so fast and easy, and it's super clean and accurate. I do recommend that they come with washed, straight, and dry hair because it will be quick, convenient, and easy in the barber shop. So let's get right into it. I do suggest that you do this haircut on a backless chair just because the bulky back of the seat is going to create an unwanted layer in the haircut today. So I'm going to have her move over to it. And setup is super important for this haircut because it is going to affect the outcome and the accuracy. I have her sitting up nice and straight, and I'm just going to keep it consistent. I know sometimes clients like to turn around and look at you and things like that, but she just has to, for the few minutes that it is, we just have to sit really still, nice and straight, so that I can have a nice straight back here. And I'm going to go ahead and get her draped up. I'm going to clip the hair out of the way for me to work. And I'm going to go with a regular cape first. Drape her just like a regular client. Pull the hair out. And this one's not super important because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a solid colored cape. And this is just going to help me to see better for my lines. And I'm going to put it on backwards. Cool. So we got her all draped up. And we already discussed that today we're going to take off about 4 inches. And we're just going to try to straighten this line up straight across and get rid of all these dead ends from wear and tear and just hair coloring and just over time. She just hasn't really gotten it trimmed since she's been growing out really nice and long. And it is going to be a little bit shorter in the front, so we are still going to keep that kind of round shape just in the front, but just straight across towards the back. And we did discuss she is a hairstylist, so she does change her hair a whole lot, and we want to have versatility, so we're going to cut it with the middle part. But if your client wears a side part all the time or so on and so forth, you want to make sure you honor that for their everyday life. And there's only going to be 3 sections for this haircut. I'm going to start at her apex, and she has a natural middle part already, so we're just going to follow that. And I'm going to part it from the mastoid process, which is this bone right here, from the apex down. And an easy way to be able to part is to put your finger where you want the hair to go. And I'm going to take my comb from the apex, and it's almost like a magnet. It's going to meet up. And I have a nice clean parting there. So that's my first section. And I'm not going to spin and do a bantu knot to clip this out of the way because I don't want to create any dents in this hair at all, since I'm going to cut it true to how it lays. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Put my finger where I want it to go. Come down and part. Bring it forward. We want that hair actually in front of the ear. Boom. Cool. So we have our 3 sections. And now we're ready to cut. So now I'm going to take my cordless magic clip. I do suggest that you use a true clipper. Trimmers will dull out a little bit faster if you use this on such thick hair. And we're going to cut a lot of bulk out. So this is a heavy duty clipper to do the job. And I'm just going to comb all her hair straight down. And I'm just going to have her look down just a little bit, and that's just going to ensure that the bottom layer doesn't protrude over the top layer whenever she's looking up and down and all around. And I'm combing pretty vigorously at her scalp, and that is just to ensure that she doesn't have any tangles or any curls or anything that's not true to its natural fall. And I've seen this haircut done a lot of times clipper and comb. But my Paul Mitchell system taught me that there's 0 tension with a one length haircut. So I'm just going to let it hang naturally. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready to cut. So I'm going to have my clipper blade closed. and I'm gonna flip it over. And like we said, we discussed that we were gonna cut from about this layer all the way through. And I just wanna make sure there's not too many bends or distractions under. But it's okay, because we're gonna go back and check it anyways when she stands up. And I'm gonna dramatically go in super straight through this whole haircut. You don't wanna go in with the curve. You wanna make sure you're not going in with the C, because that's gonna change it into a graduation. We're just looking for a one lane. And I'm gonna come straight through. And I'm gonna come down. And I'm just gonna go all the way across, doing the same thing. You just wanna make sure there's no distractions behind it once again. And you can get super creative with this shape. You can do an easy V. You can do round, you can do square, and you just want to get the bulk out, because a great way to check this haircut is to spin her around and have her look straight in the mirror, with her back in the mirror, and make sure it is straight across in the back. So I'm just going to keep combing the hair down and making sure I'm not missing anything. And like I said, I'm going for a little bit of a rounder shape, so I'm just going to kind of go up and create that. This is a super freehand haircut. I can kind of step back and look, and I see that it's a little bit shorter on this side, just like that. I just want to comb it every way and just clean up anything that catches my eye. Just keeping that nice straight movement all the way through. Perfect. So we cut the whole back panel in just that one step right there. And we have a great blueprint for the rest of the haircut. So now I'm going to move to the front. I'm just going to come grab this section and I'm going to pull it back. And we can see that nothing really needs to come off of that except for that tail right there. So I'm just going to hit that. And if I were to leave it like this, this would be a triangular shape, so it would be longer in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it forward. And now I have my guideline here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of just that right there. Perfect. I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna pull it back. Kind of like so. Just gonna cut that little piece off. There's really not much on this side. Very light trim. And then I'm gonna pull it forward. Do the same thing. And now we really get to see our shape too. We see that this side is a little bit longer than this one. So we just wanna catch them up. And we wanna make sure we're not missing any hairs in there. We can kind of see just her looking straight. This is her natural fall. Everything's super natural. So we're just gonna clean up any hairs. And literally, I just like to go straight across here and say, okay. This goes right there. Boom. And you see there's a guideline right there. That means I gotta meet that anyways. Just comb that down a little bit. Same thing. Boom. So we have super straight here. And for me to check for accuracy, I'm gonna have her look to the side. And I'm gonna comb all that hair down. And this is just gonna marry the back into the front. We're gonna clean up any extra hair. I'm gonna turn a little bit more if she can. Perfect, perfect. You see there's just tiny little hairs in there. Those are gonna protrude out. Let's hit that with the clipper. Same thing, we're just keeping that nice square shape. Cool. And I'll have her do the other way. Keep all the distractions from the bottom out of the way, because that will change the haircut. Tag there. Perfect. And she just has a couple hairs down there that you just need to get rid of. Nothing too crazy. Front is pretty healthy for the most part. And you want to get down and you want to be eye level with it sometimes too. Because you're going to have some pieces that are under there that you're just not hitting. Perfect. So I have a one length just like that. And I'm gonna add in an additional polishing step. This is very optional. This is if you have a client with heavier hair. And really it's just gonna be in the back half. And this step is super optional. It's going to take some of the bulk out and help it to lay a little more natural. What I'm going to do is just take a section out of the middle, as if I were to be doing a layer. And I'm literally, so this is going to help me to check for accuracy too. This is going to show that this piece is not going to hang lower than the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some, I'm going to freehand with my thinning shears just a little bit out of that top layer. Just a touch, just to give it a lighter fall. And then I'm just going to do the same thing as if I were to be doing some round layers for my round haircut. Pull it out and just take off that top layer. We'll do the same thing. There's not really going to be a guideline for this, and that's the point, just to take some of that weight out without taking any of the shape away, and to give it a softer fall. I personally like a hard fall for a one length, but people in everyday life tend to prefer it. Boom. Just like so. Do the same thing through. And we want to make sure that we are just taking off that top layer. You don't want to get into the length at the bottom. And I wouldn't suggest you to go in front of the ear, just because that part's going to be a lot different. You can freehand that with a little texturizing to whatever you feel, whether they ask for face framing or so on. Boom. Perfect. And our final step as a consistent stylist is going to be to take her cape off. And this is just going to double check for her everyday life. And now I can really just freehand and double check my haircut to make sure that it lays consistently. Move up just a little bit for me. Yeah, perfect. Cool. And we can see in the mirror never lies. All of our inconsistencies. I'll have her look down just a touch again. And you can just freehand it with the shape, so I can see in the mirror that needs to come off. Just that little piece, because I don't want to cut into the bowl too much, because then I'll create a whole new shape. Just comb it through just a couple times just to make sure you can come under and look. Detail work is what's going to set you apart from the next stylist, making sure that you're cutting every corner in a good way. Perfect. And now we have a one length women's haircut. And thank you guys for checking us out, and we'll see you next time.